On July 22nd, 1999, the leaders of the People's Republic of China issued an arrest warrant for this man, now living in the United States. The warrant read in part, "Wanted for disturbing public order, Li Hongzhi, gender, male, ethnicity, Han, speaks Mandarin with a northeastern accent, eyebrows slope to the middle of his brow." With these words, the government also banned the spiritual practice he founded.
Official notice, the Department of Security, People's Republic of China. The Department of Civil Affairs of the People's Republic of China declares that the Falun Dafa Research Society and the Falun Gong organization under its control are illegal organizations that should be banned. It is hereby prohibited for anyone in any circumstances to distribute books, video, audio tapes, or any other materials that propagate Falun Dafa or Falun Gong. It is prohibited to hold gatherings or demonstrations that uphold or propagate Falun Gong, such as sit-ins or appeals. It is prohibited for anyone to organize, coordinate, or direct any activities that go against the government. July 22nd, 1999.
And so it began, the official persecution of a popular spiritual practice that has, in its severity and dogma, been likened to the darkest days of China's cultural revolution. Government-produced TV shows like this carry out a shrill campaign of defamation against the practitioners of Falun Gong. Propaganda like this prompted one Beijing citizen to tell the New York Times, "It is as though we are reliving a bad dream." Why is China marshaling all of its resources to crush nonviolent and non-political spiritual practitioners? What is Falun Gong or Falun Dafa? Why are 100 million people drawn to it? Is it a dangerous cult, as its detractors insist, or a beneficial practice promising health and spiritual growth? And who is Falun Gong founder Li Hongzhi, who some Chinese newspapers are even denouncing as a reincarnation of Adolf Hitler? Is he a teacher or a political terrorist? And now the Chinese government says it will prosecute the so-called Falun Gong leaders, even though Falun Gong says it has no leaders. They insist they must be punished, perhaps with life sentences, but they won't let the accused have lawyers. Can they get a fair trial in China? What is the real story? Qigong is a traditional Chinese exercise system with a long history. Many utilize it for their physical well-being. Falun Gong draws on Qigong, but also brings to it its own philosophy and characteristics based on both Buddhist and Taoist thought. Falun Gong incorporates some Buddhist principles like the law wheel and the yin-yang of Taoism, but it is a distinctive world of thought on its own, neither Buddhist or Taoist. Falun Gong promotes physical and mental balance, bringing together mind, spirit, and reality to achieve a closer harmony with nature and the universe.
We are doing the first exercise called Buddha Showing the Thousand Hands exercise. This exercise involves 8 different movements. The core of this exercise is stretching.
Stretch to the side, stretch, heads up, heels down, arms stretch to the side, then suddenly relax.
By doing so, people can open up all the energy channels in their body very quickly at the beginning and create a good energy field.
Falun Gong might look like Tai Chi or some martial art, but it reflects a deeper approach to human development seeking to guide people to a higher understanding of spiritual values and moral consciousness.
When I found this, it gave me answers to the question and gave me the thing I was looking for in my life. It influenced all parts of my life, like my work and my everyday life. It helps me to be more sure of what I'm doing, and I can distinguish right from wrong more easily now.
In China, Falun Gong is referred to as a cultivation practice, a way for individuals of all ages and from all walks of life to cultivate both mind and body to become better people. Many practitioners say it makes them healthier as well.
He got severely, very sick for quite a while, and he tried a lot of other Qigong exercises, but none of them helped him. So once he started to practice Falun Gong, his health was greatly improved. And since then, since his practice of Falun Gong, that problem never came back to him.
I just couldn't sleep. Every time I laid down, I would get pain. The doctor told me that I had some clogged arteries. Well, I don't know if it's going to cure what my problem is, but I do know that it makes me feel better. Maybe it's the flow. Like I said, I wanted more. The flow is real. There's something there that's real. It's no joke. I wouldn't be back here today.
Falun Gong is based around 5 sets of exercises accompanied by the study of universal laws and principles. The graceful exercises work on the circulation of energy in the body. While regular physical exercising has long been recommended as a health measure, Falun Gong adds meditation and a moral philosophy, seeking to harness the body's innate strength and wisdom.
Now, how does that make you feel doing that? How does it feel?
I gain a lot of benefits, both physically and mentally. By doing the exercise, it increased my physical health tremendously. I used to have a chronic fatigue very often, but now I feel more energetic.
Falun Gong promotes 3 key deeper principles: Zhen, truth and truthfulness; Shan, compassion, kindness, benevolence; Ren, tolerance and forbearance.
Oh, I've changed tremendously, and I've seen how the Zen, Shen, Ren principles really apply, and as long as you apply them, the response is going to be positive.
There's a whole other aspect to Falun Gong. It's not just the physical exercises. When you read the book, it teaches you about certain things like virtues. It's very hard to find examples of that in the modern world. You work in New York City, and you can go the whole day and you don't see anybody doing much of anything nice for anybody else.
There are actually 2 books that lay out the thought of Falun Gong, China Falun Gong and Zhuan Falun. We'll tell you more about them later.
It seems like such a simple thing. You open a book, it talks about compassion. This changed your life? What? Wait a minute. This doesn't. But when I look at all the other practices I've tried in the past, it is the first practice which breaks things down to a very simple exercise and the very simple idea of truth, compassion, forbearance. And just because it's simple doesn't necessarily mean it's not powerful.
Falun Gong is not a religion. It's not a cult or a sect. There is no organization to join. There are no rituals or worship services. No one is making money off of it. It is not political.
We are not interested in politics. Yeah, we don't have any political intention. We are also not against the government. We just try to improve ourselves, cultivate our heart, try to be a good people.
If anybody tries to make money or personal gain from the practice, that's an incorrect approach. You're not a practitioner. You're not doing Falun Dafa if that's your attitude towards it. So, it's not a money thing at all.
I come from California. I'm very, familiar with every new age wacky thing, and some of my family members have practiced. Some of them So I've always been completely opposed, to that kind of stuff. And I've always had the reputation of being the most grounded, common sense person. That's what people say about me. So when my friends and family heard I was doing this, they were shocked. I'd be the last person they would think, but when they saw me recently, they all said, please tell us what you're doing, because they could see that it had a great effect on me.
What is important to realize is that people who practice Falun Gong do so voluntarily.
Because I have no obligation to anybody when I practice Falun Gong. I don't feel obligated to do this. If one day I say, well, I want to do something else, I want to go shopping, I want to take today off, I can just go. I don't have to report to anybody.
But they're very open about what they do, and they want people to see it, and if they're interested, to try it. That's why you practice publicly in a park. You put up a sign that says, hey, we're doing Falun Gong. If you're interested, come on by. It's free. You can stop by any time and learn it.
I tried yoga, and I tried other Qigong practices, and I was looking for something, but I always kind of felt, I'm like, I'm forking out $400 here and, $500. I'm like, I have to pay for salvation. There's something wrong. And that was another thing that struck me about the practice, that it was for free.
She's teaching the first ones if you want to learn that. You didn't learn those. Go right ahead.
I find that in doing the practice in the park together, we all are really basically bonded together because we enjoy doing this practice. Falun Dafa has changed most of our lives.
Falun Gong spreads mostly by word of mouth. It now has more than 100 million practitioners in 30 countries. Practitioners can be seen all over the world, in public parks and at community centers. They come from all walks of life, young, very young, and old alike, and from every racial, cultural, and religious group.
你自己所要创作的，说这个思想中来的东西是什么？
This is the man responsible for Falun Gong. His name is Li Hongzhi, sometimes referred honorifically as Master Li, because he is considered a master of the practice he founded. He's received awards and recognition all over the world for his work. He introduced Falun Gong to the Chinese public in 1992, but at that time only directly reached about 20,000 people.
He personally taught this practice only for 2.5 years in China, from May 1992 until the end of 1994. And probably around 20,000 people actually listened to his lectures in person in China. After that, he stopped teaching the practice personally. For the past 4 years, really people learn this practice through the word of mouth, because in China, everybody practices exercise early in the morning in the parks. So that's how people really get started.
Li Hongzhi's books, Falun Gong and Zhuan Falun, are available worldwide, free over the internet. They're taught in 9-session workshops where the key ideas are introduced and explained. Li Hongzhi now lives in the United States, where his lectures and teachings reach a growing audience. Here he is in Chicago, working with local practitioners. His ideas are spreading quickly.
Each person gets up in the morning and goes to the park to practice the exercise, the movements, for half an hour, then they go back to work. They are also members of the society. They don't have any organization forms.
Okay, this picture doesn't add up. What I see here with these people and what they're doing, they seem very normal people. They're from all walks of life, all ages. And then on the other side, you got this picture that the Chinese government is painting. And the two just don't match. So people are saying, what is going on here? What's the real story?
Significantly and initially, China's official government TV stations actually credited Falun Gong with reducing the country's expensive health care burden.
这位是财政局的退休女工，叫杨国秀。前几年是出了名的病篓子药贩子。
She used to spend over 2,000 yuan on medical expenses every year. Now with the exercises, she not only doesn't spend a cent, but was awarded a Healthy Citizen Award by the government.